ticking clock.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Hanging Out with Chops, the podcast where we talk about the art, the madness, and the magic of making music. Like always, I want to send a big shout out to all you returning listeners and to all you new listeners. Hey, thank you for stopping by. Now, every studio has that guy. You know the one. The guitarist who tries to slap brand new strings outside in the parking lot. The singer who only records at midnight. The bass player who pretends he can't find the right note but really has no idea where the root is. Today we're going to try to have some fun. Today's episode is Don't Be That Guy. We're talking about the session killers, the vibe destroyers, the people who turn what should be a smooth creative day into just damage control, an exercise in survival. We've all been there. I've got war stories that'll either make you laugh or make you double check and make sure you put on some deodorant this morning. Let's have some fun, guys. Grab some coffee, grab your headphones, and let's get into it. Don't be that guy.
We're hanging out with chops. Time just never stops. Answers fade like drops on a broken ticking clock.
I'll start off with a very basic one. Number one, session killer. And you know what? This episode is probably inspired by this more than anything else, because this is how the day will go. Band comes in, we meet, we say our pleasantries, everyone kind of settles into their area, drummer's in the drum area, the singer's in his vocal area, bass player's over there working on his rig, and I'm over here at the console getting ready, and then you know what I hear, and you all know this sound. You hear zing, or the guitar player's pulling the strings off his guitar. Zing! As a matter of fact, this just happened last week, and my back's turned to him. I'm not even looking at him. And I yelled to him, please tell me you're changing strings on another guitar that you're going to use for maybe a show tomorrow. Oh, no, bro. I got these new strings I've been wanting to try. Oh, my God. So I let him. Puts on the new strings. He's tuning them up. Telling me stories. Telling me about these last shows. 50 minutes go by. 30 minutes go by. He can't get it in tune. So here we go. He's killing the groove. He's killing the session. Everybody else is ready to go. Tunes up. Hey man, this doesn't feel right. What's going on? Oh my God. Not only did he go to a different brand, he went to a different gauge. Yeah man, I'm trying out these 10s. What do you play? What do you put on there? 9s? Yeah, I always put 9s. But now the setup is weird. Yes, bro. Don't you understand? When you change the gauge, it changes your action. Oh, I didn't know that. So guess what? Here we go. Zing! Zing! Now he's taking off the new strings to put on the old strings back on. I'm like, no. I'm like, just fine. Let me just set it up for you. Okay? So here I go. I have to grab my toolkit. Throw the fattest towel I can find on the desk, turn his guitar around, unscrew the back plate. All right, dude, let's adjust your tensions, your tension rod. Let's adjust your springs. And here we go. Now, the first hour and a half now has become, let's set up your guitar the right way so that you can use your strings, so that you don't leave the session to go all the way down the street to go buy new strings, and then you forget you haven't eaten, and then you pick up lunch, and then you've been gone for 2 hours. Meanwhile, I'm trying to entertain the rest of the guys, keep them focused. Hey guys, why don't you all, go through the song and kind of run through it while we get them situated. Well, I'm not really sure I like how this feels. Well, of course. It's a different string. It's something you're not familiar with. So that's number one, guys. My number one session killer. Now, I've seen this extend everywhere. Of course, not to bass players. Bass players, I think they change the strings when they buy the bass. Maybe when they bought the bass, they put some new strings, and then pretty much the strings stay on there for the lifetime of the bass. That's just the way it is. But I've also seen that with drummers. They wait till the very last minute, or I see them walk in with a brand new pack of heads, and they're like, hey man, I'm just going to slap these on. Oh, okay. So word of advice, guys. You want to save some money? All the I should have done, you should have done. Don't be that guy. If you're going to change heads, change them a day or two before. And that's heads across the board. On your drums, if you're a drummer, the heads on the drums. If you're a percussionist, you're going to change heads on your bongos or your congas or your timbales or anything that has that parts that wear out. You don't want to be on the clock while you're trying to figure out and trying to retune and trying to get your heads and strings to stretch. You don't want to be paying an enormous amount of money per hour while you're trying to figure this out. And that's not just drummers and bass players. I mean, that extends to everything. Sax players too. Hey, get your reeds ready. So I guess number one comes down to session killers is just not being prepared. Not taking the time to make sure that you have the right strings and they're already stretched and they're staying in tune. Heads that are stretched out and sound good. Same thing with reed players, clarinet players, saxophone players. I really don't have much trouble with flute players and trumpet players. I mean, it's mainly brass. There's not much that can go wrong with brass players. But everyone else, hey, work on your reeds at home. Try 3 or 4 of them. Hell, buy a box of 10, go through them all. You know, sand down the hearts of the reeds that you think need a little bit of sanding, and the ones that are already dead, clip them if you got to clip them, or throw them away. I know this sounds like I'm just ragging and complaining, guys, but these are the session killers. So don't be that guy. Here's my next favorite one: the control room couch expert. From my experience, a lot of times this guy's not even in the band. He's a friend of a friend who got invited to the session, and he's just stretched out on the couch giving 15 million opinions about he would do this and he would do that, and that doesn't sound cool, and this doesn't sound right, and hey, remember when so-and-so did this solo? You should try that. And he's talking about double bass parts and slapping bass this, and really, he has no say. And most importantly, he probably doesn't even pay a cent into the session. But his opinions now are steering the sessions left and right, back and forward. And for some reason, the rest of the band cares what this guy thinks. And it's worse if it's a girl. Oh my God. It's worse if it's a girl and the band is a bunch of horny guys. They're trying to impress her. And if she says, oh, you should do this, oh my God, 3 guys in the band will jump to try to please her. Here's another favorite one. The I want to get it in one take guy. Oh man, I'm surprised their ego actually fits through the door. Mainly I've seen this in drummers a lot. For some reason, it's a great insult to them. 1, to ask them to play to a click, and 2, to ask them to punch in a section. Oh my God. No, take it from the top, Talk about a vibe killer. When you're trying to fix 3 bars of the song and he's trying to record 4 minutes of audio just to fix those 3 bars. Hey, it's fine. I used to be a studio owner for years. I didn't mind when you're racking up the hours. Hey, you want to be an idiot? Go ahead. It's going to cost you. All these stupid decisions are more money in my pocket. But there's some times when you're just the engineer. You're not the studio owner. You're trying to get the job done so you can move on to the next project. But these guys have a mindset of, no, I'm going to get it in one take because Neil Peart got it in one take. Or Buddy Rich got it in one take. Hey, bro, you're not any of these guys. First of all, at least every tom in their kit matched. I feel like I was going somewhere with this. I don't know what the insult is about asking anyone to play with a metronome. Along with these guys are the other guys, the ones that I call, no, I don't want to be tuned. No, don't tune me, guy. Oh, man. And that's across the board. I've seen that with everything. Fiddle guys, horn players, and especially singers. No. I can nail it. And they're singing like 10 cents flat on every note. Sometimes I'll have to step in and go, hey, dude, just try your best and I'll tune you up. No, I don't want you to tune me up. I want to nail it. Well, bro, you don't got the chops for it. And you're running out of time. But their mindset is, no, I do not want to be tuned. I do not want to be tuned. It seems like such a knock on their pride, especially when it comes to intonation. Sometimes I'll buzz into the headphones and I'll tell a horn player, hey, trumpet guy, when you hit that note, throw out your third valve. Throw out that third valve slide. You're a little sharp. Oh, no, I'll lip it down. Okay. Or you can use, facilities on your horn that help you do that, but okay. Or same thing on sax players. I'll be like, dude, you're really flat. Open that G sharp key on that C sharp. On that open C sharp, open that G sharp key so you're not so flat. What? But that's not how you play the note. I know, bro. But you're playing it so flat, you need to open some more holes on that saxophone to bring your pitch up. Well, that's not how you... Oh, fine, dude. Fine. And I'll see that with horn players quite a bit. And I'll tell them, hey, dude, let's shade that A a little bit. You're really, really sharp on it. And they'll fight you because, they know more than you do. Never mind that we've been doing this for 20, 30 years. That brings me to my next guy. Oh, man. This is the mixed note. The mixed notes novelist. Oh, my God. These guys. They don't send you a quick text of, hey, dude, sounds great, just raise snare. Man, they send you 5 pages on the first song. And it's crazy because sometimes I get some that are broken down by bar. Oh, my God. Hey, from bar 4 to bar 12, can you raise the highs on my snare? And then from bar 13 to bar whatever, put it back to the way it was. I wanted to really cut there while Jim is playing his guitar solo. And they ask for all these audio acrobatics that really nobody's gonna hear. Even someone like me is gonna be hard pressed to really hear that anything changed, especially because they ask for ridiculous amounts. Like, hey, dude, can you raise 1 dB? Dude, nobody's gonna hear 1 dB. Nobody. 3, 5 dBs, yeah, you can make an argument there. Yeah, you might hear a slight difference. Nobody's gonna hear 1 dB. Same thing with BPMs. Hey man, instead of 81, instead of 80, can you go to 81? And I'll be like, dude, nobody's gonna feel 80 to 81. That's why real metronomes don't even have that on it. They jump, a real metronome actually jumps in increments. Sometimes it jumps in increments of 4 and 5, Why? Because you can't feel a difference between 60 and 61. You'll feel the difference between 60 and 65. And then the worst ones are hey, yeah, dude, put it on a 97.3. Oh, my God. Why 97.3? Yeah, well, I don't like even numbers. I just feel like, odd numbers is like where the vibe is at. So now, I don't want to be all negative and come down on, these musicians like I am the high and almighty. And I'm not. And really it comes into perspective. Because if you are a studio owner, I've played that. I was a studio owner for years. And yeah, it has its advantage to keep them here longer. They're on the clock longer. They spend more time. They spend more money. So yeah, I'll admit it. I was part of that. And I remember I used to have endless shelves in the studio because I swear to God, any band that would come in and see that was another guaranteed hour or 2. So yeah, I'm talking about shakers, cowbells, whistles, all kinds of stuff. And if the band was unprepared and they didn't quite have the arrangement ready, for some reason, they always wanted to fill it up with all kinds of percussion junk. Hey, as a studio owner, I was glad to take their time and their money. Hey, maybe we'll do one podcast about tricks of being a studio owner. Hey, it's just like retail work. You know, it's the add-ons. You know, it's like when someone sells you a mic at a store. Yeah, they might make some money off the mic, but they definitely make more profit off the mic cable, mic stand, mic clip, mic bag, so on and so forth. Here's another fun session killer, and probably one of the hardest ones to address. The BO guy. You know what I'm talking about? That guy that hasn't taken a shower in a week. Oh my God. Talk about an uncomfortable conversation to have. Especially when you gotta pull that guy aside and be like, hey bro, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I can't have you back unless you take a shower next time. And they'll stink up the control room. They'll stink up the lounge. They'll stink up the vocal booth, the drum area. And they just reek. Sometimes it's even worse. It's BO and cigarettes and God knows what else, dog or animal dander. And don't be that guy. And it seems like sometimes, you know, the rest of the band is maybe tolerant with that one guy. Maybe he's and I'm using air quotes here, maybe he's the musical genius of the project. But hey, I got another band in the other studio, you know, and I got another band in the lounge waiting to start their adventures, you know, in a couple of hours. And this guy's walking around and everyone has the same look on their face like, what's that smell? So don't be that guy. I know it's hard. And I know it's that uncomfortable conversation to have. But guys, come on, we're all adults. Good hygiene. It's a necessity. It really is. Here's another one of my favorite session killers. The endless take guy. I'm talking about he retracts and retracts. So you know how it goes. And this is one of my more famous stories. And I don't know if I mentioned this here before. I may have mentioned it on a previous podcast. But if I haven't, vocalist goes in the booth. And of course, you know, create new track. Label the track. Vocal 1. I'm on my edit page. Drop my cursor down. Hit record. Record this part. It stops. The computer automatically, your DAW will automatically label that one section of music. And it usually will label it what you called it. So if you call it vocal 1, it'll call it vocal 1, and then it'll underscore, and then it'll add a number, 01. Do another take, stop, vocal underscore 02. Now I know you're not going to believe this, but I had a session. By the time we were done, it wasn't vocal underscore 090. It wasn't vocal underscore 200. It wasn't vocal underscore 500, 600, 700, 800, 1000, 1100. It was vocal underscore 1228. That's right, boys and girls. I literally recorded and stopped within that one session 1,228 times. We started at 10 in the morning. We finished at 6 in the morning. One song. 1,228 takes. That wasn't even a vibe killer. I was in a coma at that point. I wasn't even trying to be musical anymore. I wasn't even arguing. Whatever. Fine. You want to do it again? Fine. You want to do it 10 more times? Fine. 50 more times, 100 more times? I didn't even care by that point. I just wanted to get them finished, satisfied, so I can go home and get a few hours of sleep so I can be back by 10. Can you mention that, guys? 1,228. That's my record. And I've talked to other engineers, and I don't think anyone's beat that record. I mean, for all I know, some of you have. And if you have, hey, send me an email, let me know. I'd love to hear your war story. But, and not even a rude individual. Actually, quite nice. Very, obviously they had money. And they were trying to achieve something in their head that I could not hear. But 1,228 takes. Don't be that guy, guys. Don't be that guy. Nobody's gonna hear a difference between take 70, take 238, take 720. Nobody's gonna hear a difference. Because what ended up happening was, by the time the singer was done, or as during the process of singing, the voice would change. Because I were becoming more and more tired, verse 1 no longer matched with the chorus. The bridge didn't match verse 2 anymore. Yeah, because you could hear the wear on the voice. So we'd go back and retrack verse 1. And then that sounded different than verse 2. So we'd have to retrack verse 2. By the time we got back to third chorus, hey, guess what? Verse 1 didn't sound the same anymore. So we had to go back and re-record verse 1. Anyway, so on and so forth. Truly one of the biggest session killers. Everyone left. Literally everyone left. Drummer packed up. Bass player went home. Everyone was like, hey, well, just let us know how it worked out. It happens, guys. It happened to me. It'll happen to you. Here's another one of my favorite session killers. Oh, the fighters. Oh, yeah. It happens. It's not very often, but it does happen. Fights will break out. Now, I have noticed that this does happen a lot with family bands. When the band is made of brothers, or brothers and sisters, or dad and sons, or for some reason the whole family vibe kind of brings down the social barriers. Why? Because these guys have been fighting since they were kids. So yeah, the few times that I have had full out brawls, where I'm talking about, fist flyings and bloody noses and, broken guitars, funny enough, have always been families. Or it's been brother 1 fights brother 2, and brother 3 is in it trying to separate it. And it really comes from a fight that they've been having for years, probably even decades. These guys have been fighting like that since they were kids. So I don't even try to get in it. The last one that I had, which was actually pretty funny, the dad stepped in and took the guitar off one and then took the bass off the other. And then the dad said, go for it. Beat the crap out of each other. And then let's move on. Let's move along. And that's what they did. He took their instruments off. They punched each other. They hugged it out. And we started from the top. The fighter guys. Ain't that funny? Ain't that something? So this brings us to our last vibe killer, session destroyer, and I call these the Houdinis. It's inevitable this is how it works out. Record song 1, maybe even song 2, we're trucking along, going great. Where's Steve? I always say Jimmy, I don't know why I always say Jimmy. Where's Jimmy? Boom. He disappeared on us. Check the kitchen. Is he outside smoking a cigarette? Maybe he's in the restroom. That one guy that disappears every time you need him. Him run to the store. I'll be gone 10 minutes. 10 minutes turns to 30. 30 minutes turns to an hour. Before you know it, eventually you get that call. Hey, I can't make it back. Something happened, blah, blah, blah. The Houdinis. I think the biggest Houdinis I see are the drummers. For some reason, those guys just lose their patience. They're the wanderers. And before you know it, they're in the next studio talking to the other band because they know somebody over there. Hey, dude, I need for you to recut this. Yeah, I'll be right there. And then their story goes on, and they've been talking. Now, they're not just killing one session. They're the multi-session destroyers. Now they're messing up this one and the one next door. The Houdinis. Hey, where did he go? Well, guys, I hope you've had a couple of laughs. I hope you've enjoyed some of these stories. Well, we've covered the string changers, the night owls, the one-take drummers, the tambourine hoarders, and even the BO guys. Well, let me say this. I'm not trying to be negative here, quite honestly, really, I'm not. I'm saying this as your friend. Because at the end of the day, these little things don't just waste time, they waste money. They drain energy. Sometimes they even break up the band. None of us want that. I'll tell you one last story. There was this great band I used to work with live. Great band. Great horn section, fabulous singer. There was not one bad musician up there. I really enjoyed working with them. And for a long time, they would always ask me, hey man, produce our album. And they had never recorded an album. And I would always tell them the same thing. Hey guys, if you can make it through your first album, I'll record all the next albums. You know why? Because I saw all the session killer traits in them. And sure enough, they went somewhere else and they recorded their first album. They attempted to. And the band fell apart. I knew it. I could see the writing on the wall. But had they made it through, I would have made them fabulous albums. I know I would have. I knew that they had to, those first hard knocks on their own, so that they would pay attention to me, so that they would understand that I was going to guide them the right way. But there was still way too big egos and just too much misinformation on how a good album should be made. So guys, let's take pride in our work. Be prepared, and most of all, be cool. That way the project gets finished, the vibe stays strong, and everybody walks out still friends, you know? And most importantly, the band doesn't break up. Well guys, I hope you had some fun. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, do me a favor. Share it with a friend. Share it with a buddy who digs music. Share it with another buddy who's trying to make his own studio. Hey guys, if you want to support the show and you want to keep this podcast going, check out the links in the description. I got a Buy Me Coffee link and a support the show button. Every bit helps. Alright guys, I hope you had some fun. I hope you had some laughs. Don't be that guy. Okay, don't be that guy. I'll catch you on the next one.
Tune in, get lost in the flow. Unknown faces in a show. Spinning tales from long ago with nowhere else to go. We're hanging out with chops. Time just never stops. Answers fade like drops on a broken ticking clock.